Well, hello and welcome to the League Racing TV TTML F4 Season 5 Round 8 United States Grand Prix. I'm going to be on my own here, so please bear with me. So it's only going to be TTGA Conti for today, as unfortunately my buddy Storm couldn't be here for today's race. But yeah, let's see what everything's going to be, and let's hope for a great race today. So just to take you through the standings before we're starting, I'll take you to the top 10 driver standing, and after that the constructor standing. Drivers, we have Graham on first position on 135 points. Then in second position we have Aju with 118 points. TTG Kermit in third with 103 points. Janne on fourth position with 100 points. Janne winning the race last week after starting from P18, I believe. Far from the back, so great race from him. We've got TRT Bunty in fifth position. I'm a D in sixth position with 87 points. OWR Atlas Copo on 79 points. TTG Corboy on 8th position with 73 points. Tunturi on 9th position with 57 points, and rounding off the top 10 is Storm 72 with 51 points. And then on the constructor standings we have the Aston Martin on 208 points, far ahead of the number 2 Haas with 133 points. In third position Williams with 121 points. Fourth position AlphaTauri with 120 points. Fifth position Mercedes with 118 points. Sixth position McLaren with 110 points. Seventh Red Bull Racing with 100 points. Alpine in P8 with 99 points. Scuderia Ferrari on ninth position with 58 points. And our last constructor in the standings is Alfa Romeo with 51 points on 10th position. So let's get everything ready for our qualification session. On board with BNL RE Luc. I believe it's his debut here in TTML F4. So yeah, let's see what he's doing as he's coming to the second to last corner, final corner, and he's gonna start his hot lap. Really easy to validate here. Really long straight, DRS straight, so a lot of overtaking opportunities here. And you've got a blind entry to corner 1. Track 5.5 kilometers in length. And of course it's in the US of A. First section, this is really Maggots and Baggots like. I personally absolutely love this track, and especially sector 1. If you make one little mistake, it costs you a lot of time, but if you absolutely nail it, you get such a good feeling out of there. And it can be very smooth, or one corner entry wrong and you're just struggling to get through it. BNL RE, they've gotten really wide here, so almost invalidated his lap on the back straight here. Also good overtaking opportunities here. You've got a really late braking around 100 meters. You can cut a lot of the inside there, and here you have to watch out that you don't spin if you're too eager on throttle, especially here. But it looks okay with what Luke's doing so far. So this one is a really long right-hander, flat out, and then a blind corner to the left here. Really easy to invalidate here, so you have to watch out. And this is the final corner, and BNL RE Luke is the first one out here, so he puts in a 133.8, so good banker lap from him. Let's see, ESW Iverbrand Mike, our Welsh friend, coming out of the back straight, coming into the back straight, I must say, I'm sorry. Really high top speeds here, as you can see, 312, 30, 14, 15, 16, 17 kilometers per hour. For the ones who are measuring in miles per hour, I'm sorry, I have absolutely no clue. Purple middle sector for ESW Brian Mike. As IMD put in a 1:33.6 on medium tires, so absolutely great time there. And Kermit taking provisional pole with a 1:32.3, so more than a second faster than IMD so far, but it's on the softer tire compound. And Mike, as you see here, going a little bit wide and yeah, invalidated his lap, so he has to go for another lap. Let's see what Storm is doing here. Storm in the middle sector, setting a purple middle sector. Really technical track here, so I'm expecting to see a lot of invalidation qualification, but also quite some time penalties, I think, during the race. Storm not taking too many risks on his first lap, leaving a lot of room on the outside. Here as well, and puts it in P2 with a 1:33.1. Let's see what Jan is doing, a race winner from last week, rounding off his lap. A 1:32.4. So in P2 for now. OWR Christian, I believe he's a reserve driver, putting in a 1:32.6. Coreboy. Let's see what Coreboy is doing. He has a valid lap so far, so absolutely great from him. He's starting his lap now. It's really tricky to get your braking point right in this corner because it is blind. It is uphill, strongly uphill as well. I must mention. Going through sector 1 here. Left, right, another left corner, right corner with little break in there, flat out. Left corner, and here you have to take something off the curb to get that extra rotation, and be careful you don't invalidate your lap on the outside of the curb there. But this was absolutely looking gorgeous what Corbo was doing here. Coming onto the back straight now. Braking hard, cutting a lot there as AJ puts in a 1:31.7 now, so 6/10 faster than Kermit, who is in P2 for now. So great lap from AJ, but still Corboy in the final sector here. Ivor Brian Mike left the session. I hope he has a spare invite so he can get back in. Corboy wrapping up his lap and puts it in P2 with a 1:32.1. So great lap from him. 4/10 slower than Aju. Well, on the 4/10, 3 and a bit, if you want to be picky. But great lap from him. Let's see what Graham's doing here. Graham in P1 for the championship, doing an absolute great job this season with a purple middle sector in the Aston Martin. Him and Corboy are teammates here. And here, final corner for Graham, and he puts in a 1:33.0. I know qualifying isn't the strong suit of Graham. He always comes alive in the race, so don't count him out yet. After all, Charlie unfortunately invalidated his lap. I'm not sure if he's gonna start another flying lap after this, or if he's gonna be going into the pits for fresh tires. So let's go on board with someone else. Jeffrey Henney just crossing the finish line Starting his hot lap here. There's a Ferrari on the inside, but he did notice it, so he's not blocking him on the apex here. And that's an invalidation. Cut the corner a little bit too much there. You can cut the corner, but you have to be careful that you don't exit the track with all 4 of your tires, or you will get an invalidation, as you saw with Jeffrey Henny. On board here with Tenturi. He has had a little bit of an up and down season. He showed really great speed, but he's been unlucky and has been involved in some incidents this season, so didn't always finish the race. But he's gonna finish this lap, and it is gonna be a valid lap, and he's gonna put in a 1:33.3. Yama on another hot lap there. You can see he's just on edge. Yama always, I think, likes to have a low downforce setup, so he is going to be struggling a bit more with these corners, but he has such great straight line speed. Every time I see Yama racing here, our Finnish race driver in the McLaren, and we're probably going to see that on board here as well on this back straight. Look at how easy he's going through the 119 kilometers per hour. Cutting the corner nicely, nice and early on throttle, purple middle sector, so all looking really good for Yama. But as TRT Bunty finished off his lap, and he's put in a 1:32.0. Yama finishing off his lap. Penultimate corner. Really important. You can lose a lot of time here, but you can win a lot of it as well. Final corner for Yama here. Finishing off his lap, and it's going to be a 1:32.0. And look at that. Great lap from Yama there. Carboy going for another lap. Is he able to improve on his 1:32.1? Because it's all still really, really close. Aju the only one so far in the 1:31s, but right behind him it's really, really close between all these drivers. Slight improvement here in the first sector for Yama. Carboy. The Irish driver, teammate of the championship leader in the Aston Martin. Opening up his DRS here. Front wing flaps open, so you don't have that much wind resistance on your car, and you can obviously go faster. Yama going out of the way nicely there for Carboy. I think I'm going to go on board with I'm a D after this. So I'm a D, really quick driver as well. High up in the championship. As Maximus retired from the session, is that because of a crash? I'm not sure. But here's Carboy, and he did improve. 1:31.6, so snatches provisional pole position away from Aju with a great lap here. And let's see how Ahmadi is doing. Final sector, just get the car on track there. And it's going to be a 1:32.3. Graham crossing the line now and puts it in P3, 131.9. So we have only Aju in the 131s before, and it's now 3 people with Corboy on pole position provisionally, Aju in P2, and Graham, teammate of Corboy, in P3 so far. Who is going to be challenging these guys for the first 2 rows? Can TRT Bunty maybe do something about it and steal that pole position away, or putting it in the front row? Who knows? We have to see, as Storm retired from the session as well. Calling it quits for today. Tuturi only one on an outlap now in the beautiful livery, I must say. Beautiful new livery for the Red Bull. For thanking Honda for their partnership in Formula 1, which has brought them a lot, I must say. Everybody coming out of the pits now, slowly. And here goes Tunturi. No. He must have had some technical issues there, I think. No, he invalidated. Yeah. That's a shame. Cut the corner a little bit too much on entry, probably. Kermit in the Williams, also a lovely livery in my opinion, as Corboy calls it quits. He doesn't have enough time to put in another lap, same for Graham. So 2 Aston Martins won't be improving on their times. And here goes Kermit, starting his final attempt to put it somewhere on the first 2 starting rows. Let's go on board for this stellar sequence of corners. Absolutely lovely to watch. Looks absolutely fabulous on board with Kermit, who's doing a brilliant job. Also in the championship, he's in P3 currently. Don't believe he has a DNF so far, so he's been doing great. And as much as I want to finish off this lap on board with Kermit, I am gonna switch to Aju, because I am really curious to see if he can reclaim pole position. Yellow flag, I believe that's Jeffrey Henny getting out of the way. Look at this, on edge, trying to use every possible inch that is available on track to get the absolute most power with a purple middle sector now for Aju. So it's looking really, really promising for him so far. But is it going to be enough to take pole position off of Corboy as Kermit finished off his lap and puts his car in P3? So second starting row in front of Graham, or right next to Graham, a little bit in front of him. But here's Aju crossing the line, and he takes back pole position with a 131.4. TRT Bunty is up on his time, so he is not going to be improving. Janne, can he do anything about it? He is improving, and he's improving on his starting position as well, puts it in P3. So him and Kermit gonna be starting right next to each other now. And I think Atlas Copo still out on track. coming up to the final corner here. Is he gonna improve? He is gonna improve, and he puts it into P7 with a 132.1, and I believe that's qualifying done. It is, as Jeffrey Henney takes touches a little bit of the wall there. Not do that in the race, please. It's gonna cost you your front wing. But that's qualifying done. As the pit crews know, reversing Jeffrey's car into the pit box and getting his car ready for the race. So here is your starting grid for today. It's on pole position, it's Eju with a stellar lap, 131.4. In P2 is going to start TDG Coreboy, P3 Yama, P4 TDG Kermit, P5 Graham, P6 TRT Bunty, P7 OWR Atlas Copo, P8 Imad, P9 OWR Christian. Rounding off the top 10 is Ivor Brian Mike. Then we have Storm, BNL RE Luke, Tunturi Parina, Jeffrey Henney, Maximus, Leslie the Twig, and in our final starter, it's FRL Charlie for today. He's gonna have to be starting from the back, unfortunately. It's looking a little overcast here, from what I can see from the waiting stream. Waiting stream. But it's not too bad. It's okay. You don't get blinded by the sun. It's easier to regulate your tire temperatures in when it's a bit overcast. So, but who knows? Maybe the weather changes. Can go both directions. We're either gonna be seeing sunshine, or three directions actually can stay the same as well. Or maybe are we gonna see little drops of rain appearing somewhere during the race? Let's get the stream on my phone as well to see if people are watching and are supporting some of the drivers here. Ooh, I'm seeing a message here from Gauta that says wet race. So it is going to be changeable positions here. And I think it's going to be changing fast, because not a lot of guys outside of the top 10 are starting on the medium tires. Only Tunturi, Jeffrey, and Maximus. Leslie the Twig are starting on mediums. The rest starting on the soft compound of tires. So I think we're going to be seeing rain fast. Also, Robin, Matt Tibos, Gauta, Kevin, welcome to the stream. Nice you guys are watching. Please tell me who you're supporting. And for everybody, if you like the stream, if you like watching these guys race, please don't forget to like the stream and subscribe to League Racing TV. But these guys finishing off the formation lap, getting their tires nice and warm. Ajo and Coreboy are going to be starting from the front row. Second row is going to be Yana and Kermit. Third row, Graham and TRT Bunty. Then we're going to have Atlas Coper and Imad, Christian and Ivor Brian Mike. And then outside of the top 10 are starting Storm, BNL RE Luke, Tunturi and Jeffrey on the medium tires, OFR Maximus and Leslie the Twig, and starting all the way from the back is FRL Charlie. So AJ coming up. It's rain after 10 minutes. So this is going to be something. But is it going to be raining hard enough? Who knows, who knows? And now Charlie, the last one to put his car on the starting position. And we're gonna see lights out after that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights. People revving, and it's lights out, and away we go. And an absolutely great start from AJ. Corbo struggling a little bit, but he's still on the inside. But he has Janne on his outside. He can keep in front of him here. Looks like everybody's coming through unscathed so far, but Aju is gone. Aju had a great start, no pressure at all. Corbo had to defend a little bit, but for now it's looking great. And look at all these guys going through this sequence of corners here. Absolutely great to see. So we have Kermit right on the back of Graham. And Bunty going down the inside in the braking zone here. And oh, we've got a crash. It's AJ. AJ crashed out. For the looks of it, he is still in the race, but he crashed out of the corner. Probably too early on throttle. And here comes Bunty on, I must say Kermit on Bunty, but wasn't close enough. Still side by side, these two. Who's going to be the victor of this little battle these two are providing us? It is going to be TRT Bunty for now. And we have Lesty the Twig and BNLA. Oh, Lesty going really, really wide there. But BNLRE Luke keeps his position for now. No, he doesn't. He gets overtaken there by Lesty. I'm not sure if that was outside of the track, but we have to see later. Corbo puts in the fastest lap of the race. He is in first position now, of course. Free air in front of him, and Bunty seems like he really, really wants to race. As D goes past Kermit now in turn 1. So Kermit getting swallowed a little bit by these guys. Something going on with Jeffrey, Henny and Luke. They're right next to each other. It isn't gonna fit through these corners, guys. And Luke is gonna be right behind, gonna be sitting in right behind him. Let's go on board with TRT Bunty. D right behind him. D a fast rider as well. Is either of these guys gonna try something? Maximus and Tunturi here. Still side by side, I believe. They are. But Maximus has the inside of the corner. So is he able to outbrake Tunturi here? On this soft compound of tire, he is. And Tunturi has to wait for another opportunity to overtake here. D, look at Kermit, he's so close to D. D really close to TRT Bunty as well. Storm on the back of Christian here as Corbo puts in another fastest lap here. Corbo really flying. D and Kermit. And Kermit takes off, takes away P5 from D with a little help of DRS, I believe. But D doesn't want to give up. Still right behind him, and because of the battling, Kermit has lost a little time to TRT Bunty, but is trying to get the time back here. And Bunty now on the back of Graham, but these guys forming a little DRS train, so it is going to be hard for Bunty to overtake these guys. The only one who doesn't have DRS to defend with is Corboy, but he is fast enough to keep his position as D going past Kermit now, and Atlas Coppo looking to take a bite out of Kermit as well, but isn't close enough. And Kermit, look at that, almost pushing him through the corners there. He's just being overtaken. And all this does is freeing up P1, 2, 3, and 4, Corboy, Janne, Graham, and Bunty, because they ain't battling. And IMD with the first time penalty of the day. 3 seconds is going to be added to his to his finishing time, I must say. And it looks like little drops are coming down here. It is. So rain started. Rain started, but how heavy is it going to be? It isn't looking that overcast now, but so is it going to be staying dry enough to keep on these tires, or are we going to see someone pitting really soon on the for the intermediate tires? Maximus here, really close to Storm. Storm and Maximus knowing each other for a long time now. They're racing against each other for a couple of years now. Let's see, Janne. Is he close enough to make a move now? He has some phenomenal straight line speed. He has. He put it on the inside, but Corboy isn't gonna give up without a fight. And look at that, cars are already going wide. But Corboy defends superb here, and Christian and Atlas Coppo battling around, and Christian taking P7 away from Atlas Coppo. Leslie the Twig and Tunture going side by side here in these sequence of corners, as we saw. Oh, that was Jeffrey Henney, I believe. No, Maximus, who lost control over his car. And look at this in the traction zones. Leslie the Twig is backside is looking like a Labrador who's glad to see his owner coming home. And look at this, Janne, Graham, half the field is coming in, and guys like Corboy and Bunty, Kermit and Christian decided to stay out. So are they gonna lose some time over these guys? Is it intermediate conditions already? We saw some guys struggling with traction, but we have to wait and see. Janne in some free air here. Almost everyone on intermediate tires now. Let's see if Corboy is struggling enough here. Or do these guys still have the traction to pull out an overcut on Janne, Graham, IMD? Ivor Brian May gets a drive-through penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car, but I don't see any virtual safety car. Leslie the Twig, 3-second time penalty. Oh yeah. Corboy really struggling. I think he's losing a lot of time. They are. Look at this. After a pit stop, Janne already almost on the back of Kermit here. As Christian is off. I don't think he has any front wing damage. Not visible for me at least, but yeah, I think it was the right decision of all these guys who did pit the last lap to do as they did. Because look at the overspeed they're having on the other guys. And I think Corboy is going to be losing a lot of positions for staying out. Where is Corboy going to come out? 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th. And here he is, 8th position. He is out in 8th position, so lost out a lot there. And Christian going on the full wet tires. Yeah, I'm a D. Always fast on Sundays. I mean, I know it's Friday, but on race day, slowly closing in on Graham. Oh, little slide there. FRL Charlie on the back of Storm here. Right next to Storm here. Storm has more straight line speed, it seems. But is he? No, he isn't. He's gonna have to wait for another opportunity. And I'm a D actually losing out a little bit to Graham now. And Graham closing in on Janne. So, just taking a few sips of my drink, as I've had a bad case of the sniffles last week, and that is over, but still my voice isn't great. We have Maximus here. Nice camera angle from the wing, really close to Tenturi. And he's able to brake much later than Tenturi Farina. But is he gonna try it here? He is. He's putting his car right next to him and wins the position of Tenturi Farina. Tenturi, I think he did the smart thing to wait there and not get caught up in this or staying side by side, because someone's gonna be leaving with tears in his eyes and probably a broken front wing, or at least some positions lost. And we have Christian who tried it on the wet tires, but he went back in. So probably a mistake from him. Wasn't intentional to go on the wets, but he's on the intermediate tires now as well. Some gaps are forming here. But Charlie coming onto the back of Storm again. He tried it once, didn't succeed. I think he wants a redo. He wants a round two. As Bunty and Jeffrey going side by side, and Bunty winning the position of Jeffrey here, and taking a really narrow line, and taking a position of Tenturi as well, trying it at least. These two side by side. Bunty is out in front of him, but not completely, losing a little bit of traction there. Is on the inside for this fast corner, and he takes the position of Tenturi Farina and climbs back to P10, but he outbrakes himself there. And Tenturi didn't like losing that position, so is he gonna try it here? No, he is not. Doing the wise thing, waiting for a better opportunity. Jeffrey Henny hoping that these guys are gonna make a mistake and he can profit off it. Really close now to Tenturi, but he's going really wide there, offline. Probably picked up a warning there. As Jeffrey Henny gets a 3-second time penalty now. And Ahmadi found some speed again. The gap was 1 second between him and Graham, but it's 5/6 now. So he found some confidence in these changing conditions. Always difficult first few laps if it's starting to rain. You have to find your braking points all over again. Find traction. Just trying to get the maximum out of your car without taking too much risk. Nice little slide there, but he catched it. It did cost him some time though. And Charlie's still on the back of Storm. So he really needs a good exit here, as Luke picks up a 3-second time penalty now. But look at Storm in the traction zones. He's really good. Going a little wide there in the braking zone, but going a little wide there means you can take a little extra speed with you on the straight after that. And now Charlie probably gonna be struggling in some dirty air here with the intermediate conditions. And he's gonna try it down the inside here, and he does succeed for now. He's in front a little bit, but remember, Stormats had better straight line speed last time, and he does now as well. But who's brave enough to brake late here? Is it gonna be Charlie or is it gonna be Storm? It is Charlie, and because he is on the inside, he's blocking off Storm. He can't turn in there, and clean, nice overtake from Charlie, who I believe started from the back, so he's doing really, really well here. 9 laps into this Grand Prix, and he's already up to 5th position as Corboy and Leslie the Twig are battling here. Corboy on the inside doing a nice switchback. Does he have the traction to pull it off? Yes, he does, and he passed Leslie the Twig in the Ferrari. Corboy lost out a lot because of his later pit stop, but slowly he's crawling back up the standings and is in P7 for now. Back to Amadi. Amadi lost out a little bit, but again he is back onto the back of Graham as Ivor Bryan Mike retired. And is that out on track? It is out on track, and it's a safety car. It is a safety car. I think, having a look of it, he lost it on the back straight in the traction zone. Probably same as we saw Asia doing in lap 1. And look at the rain now. It's really pouring down. So are we going to see somebody in and taking on the wet tires instead of the intermediates? Yes, we are, I think. No, that's for new Inters. So not wet enough for the wet compound of tire yet, as it seems. But Janne is going to be catching up with the safety car soon. This is good news for guys like Kermit, Luke, Eju, Christian, who are way back from these guys. I mean, the gap between Kermit and Jeffrey Henney as Bunty gets a 3-second time penalty under safety car conditions. Must have made a little mistake here, but what I wanted to say, Kermit having a 16-second gap to Jeffrey Henney in P12. Luke taking that extra pit stop to replace his intermediates, maybe to keep these on until the end. 20 seconds behind Kermit. And Janne's in, Graham's in, Amadi's in. And is it going to be new Inters? It's going to be wets for Janne. It's going to be wets for Graham. It's going to be wets for Amadi. So everybody coming in now to take on the wet compound of tire. Atlas Cope is staying out, so he's going to be the lead car at the restart of the safety car. Yeah, almost everyone coming in for the wet compound of tire now. As Storm gets a 5-second time penalty for a severe collision with Leslie the Twig. What happened with these guys? Leslie is ghosting out on track as Luke gets a 5-second time penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And as it seems, Leslie the Twig is not in his car right now. So was it the AI of Leslie who gave Storm the penalty? what happened with Atlas Coppo. Atlas Coppo was in front, but is in 4th position now. So, as it stands now, we have Janne in P1, Graham in P2, Amadi in P3, Atlas Coppo, who was in P1 after everybody pitted. Something must have happened to him because he's in P4 now. FRL Charlie all the way, let me check that, but I'm sure he started at the back. Yeah, he did 12 position gained. So he was at the back. Is in 5th position now, so great what he's doing out there. Leslie the Twig, who I believe isn't in his car, is in P6. Storm in P7. Corboy in P8, where they who went in 1 lap later than almost everyone else to go on the intermediate tires, lost out a lap, but he got himself back into P8. TRT Bunty and I thought something happened, but the final 2 intermediate runners are switching up their tires now, probably to wet tires as well, as Corboy gets a 5-second time penalty for a collision with... What is going on under the safety car? Severe collision with Storm. I'm gonna be away for 1 minute and I'll be back at the safety car restart. So I am back and I'm gonna be joined by the only one so far who didn't finish the race, Mr. Ivor Brian Mike. How you doing?
Yeah, not bad. I thought I'd come in and join you, keep you company since I'm not doing much at the moment.
That is really nice of you. Maybe you can take us from your POV. What happened with your DNF?
Just coming out of the hairpin, turn 11, the car just went, and the slowest crash in history, ripped the front left tire off.
Really unfortunate, but the fortunate thing of this is that you can join me to finish off commentary on more than half a race around USA in, well, full wet conditions.
Yeah, absolutely, and obviously going into the qualifying session, obviously seeing the rain forecasted for the race, definitely I knew I was DNFing at that point, because I said to you earlier, I cannot stand this track. But Yeah, it's thrown up a very interesting dynamic. I'm surprised that we've only had one safety car and one VSC so far. I probably would have expected, especially in the early stages of the rainfall, to see more VSCs and everything come out. So everyone doing a good job so far, keeping it clean and out of the wall.
Yeah, absolutely stellar job. As the safety cars coming in this lap, so yeah, once we cross the start-finish line, we are racing again. Well, probably a little bit before that, but you're allowed to overtake after that. Do you want to take us away at the safety car restart, Mr. Ivan Mike?
Yeah, sure. So right now, see Jan giving the safety car a bit of room, trying to get some heat into those wet tyres. Very tricky conditions. Needs to time this to perfection because obviously in the dry you're gonna have the traction, you're gonna have the grip there. In the wet, very difficult to find. And we'll see at one moment Jan decides to go. Obviously Graham in directly behind. We're at the final corner. Graham taking a very tight line. Jan going out wide. That's going to be the better traction for Jan. And Jan's gone. And Graham caught out slightly by just not being on the right line. As I believe Storm's just overtaken Charlie for P4. As we've got Cowboy tucked in behind. As we've got Bunty making the move on my teammate Piranha and getting through into 7th place. A pretty clean restart as Bunty there on the curb trying to make a move on Cowboy. They've made contact and is that both of them around? No, it's just Bunty around.
Yeah, Bunty around, and I thought I saw Atlas Copa going into the back of him, so let's see if we can spot any damage of Atlas Copa. I surely don't hope he does have front wing damage. By the looks of it, he doesn't. So it was a really clean restart. But we have Storm and Charlie here going side by side. Again, these guys battling for a couple of laps now already. And can Charlie finally win the position of Storm? Still side by side here. But no, Storm's front straight line speed higher, but Charlie switching to the inside now is trying to brake later. Still side by side here, touching a little bit, but nothing dirty or weird there. But as the looks of it, Storm keeps his position. So another great defending from Storm here, and Charlie really wanted to make the move on Storm and make it stick.
Yeah, absolutely. You can see Charlie right now, the confidence is there to go for the move on Storm. And Storm doing a good job defending thus far. AJ, who had an early instant trying to make his way back up Yoda, he was down there with me for quite some time at the back end. So it's good to see AJ starting to make some moves, get himself into that top 10. Yeah, good restart from Mercedes as Esty, it's a bit of a snap in the exit. He's going to lose 2 spots, one to AJ and one to his teammate.
Yeah, so you can see in these conditions, one little mistake, but Leslie doesn't give up. He tries to hang it down the inside, as I have a horrible camera position here. Let's do it this way, but Christian stays in front of him, and AJ is far gone now. Let's go on board with Maximus, who's looking really strong in this race and in this first. AJ winning a position over Jeffrey, not sure what happened there. But Maximus looking really strong in Sector 1 here through this sequence of corners, which I absolutely adore. And Corboy and Tunturi here. Corboy had a bad exit and losing 2 positions, one to Tunturi and one to, I think, Maximus, but he's trying to keep his car on the outside there. And that's Maximus off. He didn't touch the wall, I believe, so he can go on. But
that's what happened. I lost it there. I literally the back end snapped and I lost it going through.
Yeah, it's really tricky in dry conditions there. It can happen on some tires. But now Corboy trying to make the move, but AJ with a nice little cut back there, trying to stick it around the outside here, which is going to be turning into the inside. But no need. He's in front of him, and Corboy seems to be struggling a little bit with traction here. So maybe he has more of a dry setup than a wet setup. But AJ crawling back fast, I must say.
strategy of getting himself up the order as Cowboy loses spotted Jeffrey. And for Cowboy right now, you mentioned about what's called with him and Bundy coming together. Maybe he has a bit of side pod damage.
Yeah, that can be the case. It's hard to spot that, but if you have side pod damage, you can go into the pits whatever you like, as many times as you want, but it isn't gonna help. As BNL RE Luke got a 3-second time penalty, but yeah,
And I
that
think
damage is gonna stay there for the rest of your race.
yeah, and I think Bundy does have wing damage. He may have a similar thing as what I had before I pitted for the second time after surfing my drive-through. Yeah, I had wing damage, but it wasn't visible on the MFD or anything. So from the way Bundy's struggling at the moment, it does seem like he does have that wing damage.
It does. It's scored by losing out a lot of positions now. He lost out to Christian. Tunturi is there. Lesty's there.
Jeffrey.
As it's getting a little argy-bargy, and Jeffrey lost it.
Yep, that's exactly what I done. Jeffrey's done an Iverbrim Mike. Obviously not as stylish, but he's done an Iverbrim Mike.
And that's another safety car.
Yep, another full course safety car out in this race, and obviously I don't think we're going to see anyone pitting like in the previous safety car sequence. Everyone only doing 4 or 3 laps on these wet tyres. Jeffrey, see, not exactly happy with how his race has gone, but he was looking very good for a good amount of time there. So he should be proud of the fact that he definitely did have some good pace here.
Yeah, he did have some good pace. He did have a drive-through penalty for speeding under the safety car for Maximus. That's gonna cost him his final few positions because everyone's gonna be bunched up after this, and Atlas Copo gets a drive-through penalty as well.
Yeah, so let's go in terms of like the drive-through penalties. For Maximus and Atlas, I'm not sure what's going on for them with the drive-through.
Sorry to interrupt, but Gianna almost went into the back of the safety car there, so he almost got himself disqualified.
Oh wow, that's going to be another thing that Jan needs to keep an eye out for, as Luke is retired, and so has Maximus.
Yeah, I believe that is in pit lane, which is really unfortunate because everybody who's racing is picking up points, as we have a different point system in TTML than we have in real life F1. Here, everybody inside the top 19 gets points, so only 20th position is 0 points. But we started with 17, 2 were out. So if Maximus and Luke just stayed on track, they were gonna pick up some points today.
Yeah, absolutely. As long as you keep it on track, you're going to be picking up some decent points. And see, even if you get a drive-through, like what Maximus and Atlas Coco have done, it's best to not give up. I mean, surf your drive-through, because obviously in these conditions, chances of a safety car are incredibly high, and especially as you know, on a safety car restart, everyone bunched up, incidents happen, and you're better off serving your drive-through, getting it out of the way, and then banking on a safety car to bring you back in at some point.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree on that. We saw it now. First safety car came out of track, sadly, because you crashed, Mike. But after that, it's relatively fast. Second time the safety car came out, so maybe I'm not hoping. I always hope there's going to be no safety car, no weird incidents, just some pure racing for the amount of laps you're doing for a Grand Prix. But yeah, increased chance of safety cars in these conditions, as you said.
Yeah, chance of safety cars. Whenever you chuck wet on a wet race on a circuit with so many crucial traction zones as Coda does have, you can easily lose it turn 1. You can lose it at the hairpin, as we've seen twice with myself and Jeffrey. going there. You can definitely lose it in the S's by taking a bit too much curve and bottoming out there. And also the famous gust of wind corner where we saw Nico Rosberg lose the car a few years ago in real life F1. I believe it was 2015.
I am not 100% sure.
I just remember that because he spun it and threw his hat at Hamilton.
Could be. I think maybe people watching can help us. Was it 2015? Please help us. Was it 2014? Was it 2016?
It was in 2016 because that's when Hamilton won the championship on that race. I believe it was 2015 because I think 2014 went to the final round and 2016 obviously Rosberg won the championship.
But before we are gonna restart this race, because I think everybody is back onto the back of Jana and the safety car, beautiful red safety car here today. Let's get you through the positions now. So it's Jana who's been leading most of the races, still in P1, Graham behind him, Storm in P3, Charlie with absolute masterclass starting from the back in P4. Eju, P5, Christian, who's won a lot of positions as well, I believe, is in P6, Tunturi P7, Leslie the Twig P8, Kermit P9, and TRT Bunty in P10, and then I'm a D, Corboy, and Atlas Copo are the final guys still racing. Out of these races are Maximus, Luke, Jeffrey Henney, and my co-commentator for half of the race, Ivor Brand Mike.
I don't know about I'm still in the race. As we are about to get underway once again, Graham not taking a tight line this time. He's going to make sure he gets as close to Jana as possible, and Jana's, I'm not sure if Jan's timed out to perfection or he's absolutely messed up because he's got Storm that's overtaking him. Graham is on the outside. They're 3 wide into turn 1. In these conditions, it's not what you particularly want, and Storm really trying to fight this now on the inside of Jan going into the S's, and at this stage I back out and just tuck in behind.
Yeah, and that's exactly what Storm's doing. Previous seasons he have been called Mr. Cautious. He is still a little cautious because he tucked in nicely and didn't want to risk ending his race, but he's been on the aggressive moves today as he picks off, unfortunately picks off a 3-second time penalty now. And we have Charlie and Eju teammates of each other. I don't think we're gonna see team orders here because these guys are battling, fighting out a battle here, and Charlie overtaking Eju as I see I'm a D, I believe, going really, really wide there. I'm not sure what happened to him.
It was Bunty.
And Bunty getting a 3-second time penalty.
Yep, Bunty now having a look down the inside of Kermit. Kermit with a nice little switch back as Bunty goes deep. And I'm starting to think there's definitely something wrong with that Haas car. It looks like he definitely could have wing damage.
Yeah, maybe it's what you said earlier. It's that small wing damage which you don't see, but you most definitely feel in attraction zones as Bunty and Kermit came together, and Corboy profited of it as well by overtaking Kermit here. And let's switch back to the Mercedes now as AJ fought back and took back that position of FRL Charlie. So no friendly shenanigans in the Mercedes here. It's not going to be Hamilton and Bottas with a clear first and second driver. It's going to be 2 first drivers fighting out who's going to be the winner of this battle.
Yeah, and right now AJ definitely has the psychological advantage with being the man with no penalty for his name at this stage. For Charlie, he would rather AJ do him a solid and help him build a gap to the cars behind. But obviously AJ is looking to try and get a podium, or maybe even a win here tonight. So yeah, these guys, they're going to be battling tooth and nail. Charlie obviously to try and get ahead to build a gap to Christian in behind, and AJ trying to get onto the back, Storm, Graham and Jan to try and get himself into this battle for the lead.
Yeah, he most definitely is. And yeah, as you said, Storm has a penalty. So if it stays like this, AJ is going to be picking up that podium. But I'm sure, knowing AJ and seeing him racing, he wants to take it out on track. And as we have Imadi and Leslie Twig side by side, the Ferrari going down the inside, going really aggressive there, trying to outbrake Imadi, but it doesn't work. These guys still side by side. Imadi on the inside now, and Leslie tried to go for a cut, but didn't work. So Imadi passed Leslie the Twig, and now is sandwiched by the two Ferraris of Christian and Leslie.
And indeed trying to get himself up the order. He did make a pit stop under that last safety car, so he is in the fresher full wet tyres, so he's using that advantage to try and get himself up the order. And he's looking good right now to try and catch up to Charlie and overtake him. So obviously that at the moment, MOD is definitely looking to try and get a battle with, maybe Storm as well if he can get up to the back of him. He's not too far off. But these guys with penalties, they need to try and break away from the Red Bull of Brana and Cowboy and those in behind, because they could lose a couple of spots if they caught up battling these guys for too long.
As Leslie picks up like 3-second time penalty now, and Storm, it looks to me that Storm 72 UK is losing out a little bit on Graham and Janne, and feeling the pressure of AJ behind him. It's only 4/10ths of a second between these guys. AJ looking really strong here, and I think we are gonna be seeing a move either at the start-finish straight, and if it's not the start-finish straight, it's gonna be on the back straight for sure. And yeah, AJ really almost pushing the car of Storm through these corners. He's making him known. He's there, going to the left, going to the right. You can see it in his braking as well. He's braking a little bit later. He had a little bit of problems on traction there, mid-corner, so lost out a bit, but still nothing too serious. As we see Kermit, I believe, who had an incident and spun at the same hairpin that ended your race.
Yeah, that hairpin is definitely causing a few issues. We've seen both myself and Jeffrey crash out there. I believe we've seen two spinners also spin out there, lucky to keep the race and their front wings intact. But yeah, that corner is definitely catching a few people out.
Yeah, it is. We saw, of course, AJ spin around there on lap 1.
Contact between Hannah and Cowboy as they lock wheels. Cowboy managing to get through, going up into 9th place.
Yeah, Cowboy not looking as fast as he was in the first half of the race, so definitely something wrong with it's either going to be floor damage or side pod damage. I'm not sure. His wing looks okay. He pitted as well, just like Imadi, but isn't looking to get everything out of the car. And Imadi now only 1/10. It was before the braking zone between him and Christian. Is he going to be able to overtake him? Does he have the straight line speed? He's right on the back of Christian, as we get a lovely onboard camera here from the game. He is closing in a little bit, but it isn't going to be enough. He has to wait for another opportunity here and keep behind him.
Yeah, both Imadi and Christian using the ERS throughout that entire straight, and obviously the main thing as well, when it's full wet conditions, you can afford to use all your ERS on the straights because you're braking earlier, you're braking harder in these conditions, and you're saving more ERS. So the ERS usage, building it back up, is not as difficult as it would be in the dry.
No, most definitely isn't. And yeah, as Mike explained, ERS system is recharging while you brake. So as your braking zones are longer here because it's raining, a little bit of squirrely there from Christian. Maybe now Imadi can profit of that. Doesn't look like it now. He is gonna put it down the inside here, but is it gonna be enough for Imadi to take the position of Christian? It is. It is. What a great overtaking there, and maximum profit of Imadi of the little mistake Christian made there.
Yeah, and even after that mistake, it looked like Christian had just enough legs in Ferrari just to keep ahead, but Amadou just placing his car there on the inside, making Christian take the wide line through turn one, allowed Amadou to get the turn in that he needed, and I'm surprised that he was able to get the traction as we got the Mercedes battling once again right behind Storm, so it's another Mercedes Civil War in Coda.
Yeah, they do, and but they're not switching positions again. AJ stays in front of Charlie. It is just in front of him, but Charlie tries to brake later down the inside, but he doesn't do it. And now there's Imad already. Imad on the back of Charlie now. He was held up a little bit by Christian, but he broke away, and Imad almost passed Charlie there as well because of these Mercedes battling each other.
This is obviously this isn't hurting AJ as much as it's hurting Charlie, because obviously with the time penalty that Charlie has, I'm just going to quickly look to see how much it is. Okay, a 6-second time penalty for Charlie. He's gonna drop not only a spot Imad and Christian, but he's also he's very close to being jumped by Cowboy as well, who's a few seconds off. But yeah, these guys battle. Cowboy could definitely get in, and he's going to end up losing more than what he can possibly do by getting ahead of AJ.
Yeah, he can, and Cowboy isn't held up by anything because he has 3 seconds of free air in front of him and 5 seconds of free air behind him. So no one's challenging Cowboy at the moment. So if he can keep up the pace he's doing now, he can maybe profit of this. And of course the Mercedes have to keep battling to make that happen. But I know one person who's glad these Mercedes battle as much as they do today, and that's Storm.
Yeah, the unfortunate thing for Storm though, as I was looking at the penalties, is he has picked up his fair share, and while it's going to be a great result on track for him, it's probably not going to be the result he was hoping for by the end of it all, as Imad gets the move done on Charlie, so that is split up the two Mercedes lads.
Yeah, great work from Imad. This is what was coming for well, 1.5, almost 2 laps now. Imad closing in on these guys, and I must say, Imad, although he does have a penalty, let's check how much he has. A 3-second time penalty. Although he has that 3-second time penalty, of course Charlie has one as well behind him. If he is fast enough to pass Aju, but I think he is, because he's looking really, really racy with these 6-lap fresher tires. Do you think he maybe can get his car on the podium if he breaks away?
Well, I mean, he has to get through on AJ, and AJ's having a look on Storm here, down the inside of turn one. So Storm may have the traction on the outside, a little bit more contact as they get a little bit loose on the exit of turn one. The more these guys battle, obviously Imad is going to be stuck in behind watching it, waiting for an opportunity. But Imad normally has got to get past both Storm and AJ, and we're seeing right now they are willing to get their elbows out and battle tooth and nail. He also needs to build a 3-second gap to AJ, and I'm not sure if there's enough laps left for him to do that without a mistake, but he's going to try it down the inside into the hairpin, little bit of contact, and AJ able to get the traction down, and now we'll see if AJ can turn defense into attack and try and get on the back of Storm.
Yeah, and these guys, as you said, are really, it's not a battle these guys are fighting out, but it's a little war, as AJ is looking down the inside but doesn't have enough, and Imad goes down the inside. Can he keep this position? Yes, he can for now. AJ was looking for the switchback here, but Imad still on the inside, on the back of Storm now, and yeah, maximum outcome for Imad with minimum input from him, because it was Aju who failed to make the move on Storm, which gained him a position.
Yeah, but I don't think AJ's going to mind this too much. He knows Ahmadi's got a penalty. He knows Stone's got a penalty. And oh, as he almost loses it there, and the traction rear spinning the rear tyres on the exit of the final corners. Ahmadi has a look on the inside, the Storm now into turn one, and that's moved down for Ahmadi. Now this is a concern now for AJ. I was going to say that he wouldn't have minded that too much because of the penalties that Ahmadi and Storm has, but now Ahmadi's got ahead. The battling that Storm and AJ are going to do is going to dictate if Ahmadi can keep a hold of this podium position.
Yeah, can Ahmadi, with only 2.5 laps worth of racing, a little bit more than that, can he build up the gap? If Storm keeps defending on AJ as he did, it may be possible that Ahmadi creates a gap, but still he needs 2 more seconds.
He's halfway there. He's got a second and a half already.
He does, and Storm and AJ, well, we've seen them battling all race long, and Storm isn't gonna let AJ pass without a fight. So yeah, I think as we have a yellow flag in sector 2, and is that Atlas Copo, a hairpin corner, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. I'm glad I'm not the only one who struggled with that corner today.
No, there's a lot who are struggling with this corner, and I must say, in wet conditions, it is really difficult. And look at this now, the gap between Ahmadi and Storm, 1.6 seconds already, so 2 seconds in front of AJ, and Ahmadi right on the back of Graham. So is Graham going to be defending hard, or is he thinking, you know what, he's got a time penalty, I'll just don't want to lose any time, I'll let him by, and I'm going to get that position back on penalties.
So right now as Ahmadi down the inside of Graham into turn one. I think Graham's going to allow this to happen because Ahmadi is looking very quick, and if he gets up to jam, that could open an opportunity for Graham to maybe take this race win. So it's a smart call from Graham. This now, however, does put AJ really on the back foot when it comes to getting this podium now, because if Ahmadi can get through on Jan as well, he's going to build that gap, you would think, with how much he's already gained so far.
Yeah, and with only 1.5 laps, it's going to be exciting. Is it going to be enough time for Ahmadi? He has the fresher tires. He is looking fast in traffic. If he is able to pass Janne, which I think he is going to try now, but Janne always has low downforce setup, so his straight line speed is really high. Is he going to be able to pass him? And he's going to launch it down the inside. Cuts the corner there, and he is in front as we have sector 1 and 2 yellow flag, and Bunty getting a time penalty.
And AJ making that move on Storm, that is crucial, as I just had an error on my application. That's great stuff.
That isn't great. I can see, as Ahmadi is the leader, the gap between Ahmadi and Aju is 2.7 seconds, with only 1 1/16 of a lap left to go, and Ahmadi is really trying to extend that lead over Aju. I don't think it's going to have enough time to extend it enough to get Janne, but maybe even Graham is 2 seconds behind him now. So it may even be enough to pick up P2 for Ahmadi and Graham getting the last final position. And now it's all over. AJ picked up a penalty, so it doesn't matter anymore. AJ isn't gonna finish on the podium as it stands now.
Yeah,
but still,
it's heartbreaking for AJ. Obviously, final lap as well. I've had to tune into the stream because by the time I load back up the game and get back in the session, the race will be over. So I'm playing catch up with the stream right now. Yeah, but Ahmadi, he might be able to get second place here. He's got a very decent gap to Graham, and
look at this. He already has 3 seconds on Janne. So if it's gonna stay like this, he's gonna be picking up the highest podium position. It's 2.9 seconds now, so it's gonna be really, really crucial for Janne to keep inside, but it's 3.4 seconds now. Janne was under pressure of Graham. Graham capitulating on this. Graham in P2 now. But still side by side. Janne trying to keep this position, but Graham on the inside. And look at AJ there. AJ needs this as well because of his time penalty, but is he able to go around the outside of Graham here? Still side by side, these two. These two are knowing each other for a long time as well, so I guess there's going to be a lot of respect between these guys. Still side by side. As I want to go on board with Imad for finishing, but I can't. And there's Janne. There's Janne as Imad has won the race. Graham is going to be coming in P2. Janne in P3. OWR Christian picking up P4 because he kept his race clean. Corboy came back to P5. AJ finishing in P6. FRL Charlie P7, Storm in P8, Lesty in P9, and Atlas Copo is going to be coming in for P10. He's going to be finishing crossing the finish line now, and then we're only waiting on Tuturi Parina and TRT Banti. Tuturi is in now, his race is done, and TRT Banti, who started out great, but in the end he lost out because, well, Mike and I were thinking maybe some damage.
It's fandom damage. I had it earlier after locking up and making a small bit of contact with AJ. It's got to be fandom damage. It didn't show up for me. I guarantee it didn't show up for him.
So that's race done. We've seen a great qualifying session today, and we've seen a marvelous race. Sadly, we had to say goodbye to some drivers, but here he is on the top step, Imad with an incredible race, and especially the final few laps, the restart after the second safety car. Great stuff from him, with Graham finishing in P2 and Janne finishing in P3.
Yep, and the dream of a Celtic podium still goes wandering.
We're trying to keep that dream alive, and this is your final finishing of today. Imad, congratulations on the win today, picking up P1. Graham finishing off in P2, another podium for Graham, our championship leader, who is doing absolutely marvelous today. Janne finished in P3, Christian P4, TTG Corboy in P5. AJ, sadly, because of his late penalty, finishes in P6. FRL Charlie P7, his teammate who had quite some nice battles today. Storm P8, Leslie the Twig P9, Atlas Copo finished in P10, Tunturi 11, TRT Bunty P12, and then Kermit, Maximus, Luke, Jeffrey Henny, and Ivan Brian Mike sadly didn't finish the race, but I'm sure they're wanting to fight back in the next round.
Absolutely.
So, from what you've seen today, what's your driver of the day, Mike?
Right, so obviously I don't want to be boring and say Imad, but his pace today was incredible. I mean, he made that pit stop under the second safety car and was able to carve his way through to take victory. However, because he was at the back with me for such a long time, I'm going to say AJ. Well, we had our issues, but he managed to get himself back up the order.
He was able to get back in the order. But yeah, because I always just don't want to pick the same guy as the other commentator. I have got to go for the boring pick, and that's Imad. It was going to be FRL Charlie, who had a great race today, started from the back, finished up quite high today, but I must say, after the second safety car with the fresh tires, taking the risk of the pit stop, my driver of today is our winner, Imad. And that's where I'm gonna end off the stream for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to give your thumbs up for this stream, and hopefully see you next week. I am quickly gonna check which track we are gonna do. Brazil. So we're staying in America, but now was the southern part of North America. We're going to South America now, Brazil. See you next week, same time, same day, and thank you for today. From me and Mike, bye bye.